We are live right now. Hi, everybody. You are
Hi.
welcome to the Transhuman Coin Scientific Advisory Board induction of our senior advisor, Professor Aubrey De Grey. Hi, Aubrey. You're welcome to ourselves.
Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be here and delighted to do what I can to advise.
Great.
Welcome.
Peter, you take it off from there.
Thank you so much, Aubrey. This is such a pleasure and honor. I just want to do a quick overview of your profile. Dr. Aubrey De Grey is a biomedical gerontologist, is the co-founder of the Methuselah Foundation and the Sense Research Foundation, which is essentially pursuing strategies for engineered negligible senescence, is the author of the mitochondrial-free radical theory of aging and the co-author of the Ending Aging, the International Adjunct Professor of the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, Fellow of the Gerontological Society of America and the American Aging Association and the Institute of Ethics and Emerging Technologies. And of all, he's contributed to the study of the Hadwiger-Nelson problem in geometric graph theory, making the first progress on the problem in over 60 years. So really welcome, Dr. Aubrey, to the Scientific Advisory Board of Transhuman Coin. It is really our pleasure and honor.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And we have Bill here. Bill is the David lead of Transhuman Coin, and we do have Dr. Jose. Hey, Dr. Jose, good to see you.
His sound is muted. But...
Hello from Spain also.
Hey.
Jose, hey, Bo. That's amazing.
So, Peter?
Yeah, that's fantastic. So maybe we'll just make a start and going around the room to introduce you to the team, Aubrey. I'm Peter Singh. I'm a digital and data solutions lead at KPMG and also co-founder of Transhumanism Australia. We've been doing a lot of advocacy down under with the likes of Dr. Avinash and Bo. And it was such a great sort of privilege to also meet Dr. Charles in South Africa in Joburg to be able to essentially drive the transhumanist movement through Transhuman Coin. Maybe I'll pass it over to first Dr. Avinash. Oh, you're on mute, Dr. Avinash.
Well, thank you, Peter, for introducing me. And again, welcome to Aubrey De Grey. Myself, here in Australia, I'm working as an assistant professor, researching about brain and computer interface, this kind of work, but my passion is toward transhumanism and technology, and bringing me on board with Peter and Charles on Transhuman Coin as well, which is an amazing journey so far in last 1 year. And now we're welcoming you, which is just great to have you here. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome. Maybe I'll go next to Art.
Yeah, welcome, Aubrey. We've met before on the USTP Virtual Entertainment Salon. You taught me about circular mitochondrial DNA. But yeah, welcome aboard. We're going to do great things. Thank you.
Great. Maybe David?
Yeah. My name is David Olupito, and I reside in Florida, Sarasota. And I'm glad to be in this group. I feel really honored and privileged to be here. And I want to use this opportunity to say and welcome Dr. Aubrey and also represent the collective group in the Transhuman Coin. Welcome, and we really appreciate your joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Bo?
Both audio is still not working.
That's right. Maybe just back to you, Charles.
I was on mute. All good.
Oh, great.
Yes, I'm Bo. How's it going? I'm a blockchain engineer working with Transhuman Coin and some other projects like Africa Rare. Actually, some really cool news. I just got accepted to the Algorand International Smart Contract School today. I only have 30 students, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, I started the transhumanism in Australia a long time ago with Peter, and we've just been spreading the word for a long time. And I've been a long time follower of you, Dr. Aubrey, and it's a pleasure to have you on the call.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bay. And Jose's back. Hey, Jose. No need to introduction as well.
So I just wanted to say, great to be here and great to see Aubrey. I think Aubrey is one of the leaders of our movement. And actually, I have known him for about 20 years. So I'm really proud. And he wrote the prologue of my book that you can see in my back. My book is in many languages, just coming out now in German. Next week in German and in Chinese. So I'm really, really excited to see Aubrey. We worked together with Charles in Johannesburg and in Sun City a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago. And I will be with Aubrey in 1 week in Dublin, in Ireland. And then Aubrey will be here with me in Madrid. And I hope that Charles and Peter and many other people join us also in Madrid. All welcome to Spain.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Back to you, Charles.
Great. Yeah, Dr. Jose, we are coming to Madrid. We are super excited for that event. And also to Dublin. I think that would be next month.
Yeah, Brenda's coming to Dublin.
Great. We are going to have some of our board members who would, want to come to Dublin to the Longevity Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just going to go straight to Aubrey's speech. Aubrey has just some words for us today.
Okay, you didn't tell me that I was supposed but yeah, okay, I'll extemporize. So yes, first of all, just thank you all again for being so kind as to appoint me as an advisor to Transhuman Coin. I am certainly excited to help as much as I can. I of course know only a little bit about what Transhuman Coin itself is aspiring to do, but I'm looking forward to learning. And of course, I'm also very excited by the fact that it's such a global enterprise, that we have people here from Australia, from Africa, that are leading this effort. Because I was, as I already mentioned, extremely happy to be able to come and support the conference that happened a few weeks ago in Sun City in South Africa. I felt that it was not only fantastically well run, really hats off to OC and Brenda for doing it so well, but also that it was very timely, that the time is now for Africans to start learning more about the longevity movement and about the future of technology in general, and the efforts that Tafties and Afro-Longevity will be able to contribute to that will, I believe, make a big difference quite soon in terms of raising people's level of understanding in the African continent. So as a couple of you just mentioned, I'm running my own conference starting in 8 days from now in Dublin, Ireland. And I'm really looking forward to that, because the lack of conferences over the past, however many years it is, 2.5 years since COVID started, has been a great loss, I believe, for the field. Certainly I've felt over the past 20 years or so since I've been running conferences that they have enormous value as places where long-standing, not just friendships, but also collaborations are formed. And it's high time we had some more of that. So that's going to be very much my focus a week from now. I will also actually have a very significant announcement to make then, but I'm not going to be able to say any more about that right now. Nevertheless, I definitely will be looking forward to welcoming some of you to Dublin, and we'll take it from there, really. As we all know, there's enormous progress in the field, both in terms of the money that's coming in from many sources, including some of the richest people in the world, and also many of the richest people in cryptocurrency. And also, of course, in terms of the actual outcome of that money, namely research progress. It is extremely heartening to see so much going on, and indeed to see the mainstream of the medical community worldwide getting more and more involved with collaborations with Big Pharma and such like being announced, every other day. It's really a great time to be involved in this field. And I definitely want to make sure that my contributions continue and broaden, and I definitely view the involvement with Transhuman Coin and with Afro Longevity as being part of that. So I'll be delighted to continue doing so. I think I'll just stop there.
Can't hear you, Charles.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was on mute. Hi, Aubrey. That was great. That was really amazing. I think Dr. Jose may have something to say to us today.
We have to keep on working towards all the transhumanist goals, which is super longevity, super intelligence, and super happiness. I try to be super happy all the time I can, and that motivates me to work on super longevity and super intelligence. As I said, I had the pleasure to be with Charles and with Aubrey in South Africa, and looking forward to see also Brenda and Aubrey and other friends in Dublin. And then, of course, in November, all of you are welcome to Madrid, to Spain, where we are going to be talking about some transhumanist ideas, mostly this time based on cryonics, because this is a very important year. Two big, very important centers have been opened in cryonics, the one in Australia and another one in Zurich, in Switzerland. So this is a fantastic year. The center in Zurich is led by a doctor, a medical doctor, which it gives a lot of credibility. Emil, who is the director of the center, he's a German based in Berlin, but he's a medical doctor. And so we will have him coming to Madrid and talking about that. And hopefully Peter comes from Australia. And even if you are not directly involved in cryonics, it is interesting to talk about what is happening in Australia. I think things are moving fast. Things are moving well. Also, last week, I was in Copenhagen in Denmark for another anti-aging conference that is organized by the University of Copenhagen and by Alex Shavoronkov, who is the founder of In Silico Medicine. So this conference is called ARDD, which is probably Aubrey knows the initials more than me, but it is like Age, Research, and Drug Discovery, or something like that. Anyway, and I was very excited. They announced the creation of the Longevity Medicine Society. They are creating a society of doctors who only work on longevity. And this is very, very important. This has been led by one doctor, German doctor in Singapore, Andrea Meyer. And also the vice president is another medical doctor who lives in China that used to work with In Silico Medicine, Evelyn Bishop. Evelyn Bishop is originally a Polish person, Jewish, but living in China, and she's the vice president of the Longevity Medicine Society. This is an incredible advancement to have medical doctors that are talking about longevity and that believe that aging can be stopped and that aging can be reversed. Well, I'm so excited. I was there the whole week in Denmark, in Copenhagen. Excellent conference. There were about over 400 people, Aubrey. Actually, Martin from Ireland was there with me. We were amazed because having 400 people, half of them medical doctors, half of them biologists, was excellent. This gives a lot of credibility to the field of longevity and rejuvenation. So anyway, I'm really excited. Things are moving. And thanks to groups like Transhuman Coin. Oh, by the way, we had the big competitors, Vita DAO. Vita DAO was there also. And, they have also a lot of resources and they're putting a lot of money specifically on longevity. So I think it is really, really good. Really good. I'm excited. I'm happy. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon somewhere, particularly in Madrid, November 12th, 13th, remember.
Yeah, definitely, Jose. And we love Vita DAO. They're such an amazing group. And meeting them at Transvision last year was such an honor as well with Dr. Natasha Vitamore and the team there. And it's something that I think it's a really great way. It's a very novel way of creating IP in the form of these non-fungible tokens to be able to, when they commercialize, pay those royalties back. So these are sort of the projects what cryptocurrencies enable. And for us, Transhuman Coin is really the advocacy component trying to make that utility so that everyone can actually use this. And the reflection brings transactions into the treasury that we can then fund these conferences, these projects, longevity projects as well. But yeah, this is something that we really look forward to working with you as well, Dr. Jose and Dr. Aubrey. This is where we need to continue to advocate for this. In Africa, cryptocurrency adoption really is much higher than everywhere else around the world. And having those ecosystems of cryptocurrency and longevity enthusiasts coming together, that's where we can really spread and accelerate the movement. With the upcoming conferences, I'm really looking forward to the Dublin one as well. Yeah, Aubrey?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, we are going to play a clip from Transvision. And when we come back, Peter is going to share a little bit of what Transhuman Coin has been able to achieve in the past 1 year of our launch. Please enjoy this.
It's delicious.
Charles, thank you so much for showing that video. It really is beautiful, and I think it puts all of us into the positive mood of the future. So thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Jose. You're welcome. Now to Peter, can you please just share a bit of what we've been able to achieve in the past 1 year?
Yes, sure. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, I think it's been an amazing year. We just recently celebrated our 1 year anniversary. We went from pretty much 0 to over 15,000 holders today. And, there's people all around the world really advocating for transhumanism and using this currency, which is Transhuman coin. Currently, it's on the BNB chain, which is the Binance Smart Chain previously. And we're essentially looking to expand that to other blockchain networks, including creating our own blockchain as well. Well, where we started, what we've achieved in the past year is being able to achieve over 15,000 holders. We've been able to make donations to lifespan.io, one of our first donations, to encourage them to create more projects in the crowdfunding platform. We love the work that Keith Comito and the team been doing there. I've seen also you've had conversations there with them as well, Aubrey, as well as with the likes of Vitalik as well, when previously about a year ago now. We've also donated to a company called Abby by GoGo Tech. They essentially create electronic wheelchair, and essentially they want to create an autonomous wheelchair to transform human mobility. But as with all these transformation technologies, it's helping the immediate need of people, that over 500,000 people that need a wheelchair but can't get access to it at an affordable rate. So yeah, that's a great achievement, what they've been doing. And essentially what we're going to try to integrate is looking at brain-computer interfaces in the future to be able to use your mind to control the wheelchairs with a lot of the autonomy to prevent those accidents as well. We've also donated to the FOXG1 Research Foundation as well, looking at that particular genetic disease that's essentially affecting children that are born with the FOXG1 genome. And we've also supported the likes of films, longevity films, such as The Last Generation to Die, with the likes of Tim Maupin and the Keith team as well. So we're really looking forward to accelerating our donations through your help and your advice on where we put the funding towards. The one that we did with TAFD as well just recently in upcoming conferences, that's something we're really looking forward to as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Congratulations on your first year, on all those achievements. It's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, thanks so much. And for the community, we're building out more and more utility for the coin. We've created a peer-to-peer exchange where essentially people can onboard their cryptocurrencies to trade, and that's essentially achieving more transactional value to the coin. And so every transaction, 2% goes to all the holders, including the fund wallet. So that allows us to continue to make these donations and investments. There's also an e-store that we're going to be listing a lot of the content from the transhumanist community, such as the books with the likes of Jose and the team. We've also got medical devices and smart watches that will be able to help people monitor their health and quantify that. And using blockchain technologies, we're working with Ethereum as well as IoTex to actually get data into these from smart devices onto their NFTs. So the NFTs will represent their health data in real time. And these NFTs, the technology allows it to be done in a private and secure way so they can actually monetize their own data. So this whole Web3 concept of being able to have ownership and control and be able to elect to allow that person to share that data and monetize it will eventually create something like a universal basic income, which is one of the super happiness sort of pillars for transhumanism that Jose mentioned. So yeah, there's a lot on store, and we've also got a lot of things going on with the likes of Africa Red. Maybe Bo, if you want to talk to some of the developments there as well with our metaverse play. Oh, sorry, I'm mute again.
Yeah, so Africa Rare is a metaverse that is centered around African culture. And it was started by the Man-Made team over in Africa. And I've had the pleasure of working with them to build a number of things such as a marketplace. We're actually currently in the test phase of our marketplace. And that will be integrated into our metaverse experience. And the metaverse is really cool. We've got some amazing designers that is designing African-themed experiences, and we're working with African artists to celebrate, their work within our metaverse, and really to, I guess, create a place for Africa to call home in the metaverse. So it's pretty exciting and a lot of work, to be honest, but it's good work.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, Aubrey?
Oh, no, I was just saying thank you both for explaining all of that. I hadn't heard about this project, and so great to know.
Yeah, the idea is really to
we're just
make
going on a
science.
short break.
Sorry, Chuck?
Yeah, we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to hear from the leader of Transhuman Coin's Scientific Advisory Board, Professor Avinash. Enjoy this.
Have you ever imagined a life without diseases and death? Imagine if the people you love didn't have to die or suffer from incurable diseases. Give me 40 seconds to introduce you to Transhuman Coin. Stay tuned. Transhuman Coin's tokenomics send 2% of every transaction to the liquidity pool. Another 2% is redistributed to holders, including a Transhuman Fund wallet, and 2% is sent to the marketing wallet. We believe that science and technology can help humans control aging and increase lifespan significantly. Vision statement. Our purpose is to create a decentralized research and development community in the metaverse with the capacity to solve many unsolved human problems. We exist to solve real human problems by mobilizing experts in science and technology who are equally invested in Transhuman Coin and benefit from 2% of the reward system. By so doing, we will build a bridge between the science community and cryptocurrency. Visit our website.
Transhuman Coin.
Welcome back, and now we can hear from Dr. Avinash.
Thank you, Charles. Again, Dr. Aubrey De Grey, you're welcome to the board. And as we will welcoming you on the board, want to hear from you, like, what do you think what's happening with longevity in last 4 to 5 years to now? I mean, there's lots of things changing, like Transhuman Coin, for example, and you are leading a movement itself from several years, and being one of the most inspiring individual in this field. So what do you say about that? And again, want to welcome on that note.
Well, thank you, Avinash. Well, so I guess in the past 5 years or so, the two main themes that have been developments are, first of all, the arrival of increasingly large numbers of private sector investors, people who are not just writing, philanthropic checks, but who are actually writing rather bigger checks usually because they hope to get money back in the future. And, that has definitely spurred a considerable acceleration in the research that's been done across the whole of the longevity field. I would say that the second one is the arrival of so many big hitters from the cryptocurrency world. So Vitalik Buterin started giving money to Sense Research Foundation about 5 years ago, but really it was 2 years ago that things started to explode with lots and lots of other wealthy cryptocurrency founders and such like coming in. And now that seems to be, continuing to grow. Moreover, the way in which that money is coming in is not just in the private sector. A lot of it is philanthropic. And the result is that areas of longevity research that might historically have been considered more transhumanist, actually, more futuristic, and perhaps too futuristic for people to think they can make money out of them. Those things are also now being very well supported. Certainly that's true of cryonics. And this is kind of no surprise because, of course, the people who've tended to be pioneers in the cryptocurrency blockchain world are geeks. They're people who think like engineers. And those have always been the kind of people that I've found it most successful in explaining the way in which we will be able to bring aging under medical control. In terms of the actual scientific breakthroughs, well, there's just too many to list. You know, they come out every week. So really, I'm much more focused on, at this point, on looking at the whole field from end to end, so to speak, and how successful these early stage pioneering projects from a few years ago are now being in getting all the way through into clinical trials. And, you know, that means not very far away from being available for the general public. So that's really where I would say the main action it has been over the past 5 years.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. And that's very, very positive. Not
Nash,
just for us.
Nash, you are muted.
I'm just saying it's very, very positive having this action, and not just, I think, not just these investor, these engineers, or I should say one of the pioneer in the field.
I can't hear Avinash. Can anybody else?
Yeah, I can hear Avinash.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, okay, Avinash? Not sure.
So I'm just trying to say, in addition to that, the policies as well. I mean, if I put forward ICD-11, where the aging has been listed as one of those disease. So that's a reflection from the policy level also happening quite a lot. So that's great. And again, with that note, again, I want to say welcome, Aubrey De Grey on TSC. It's not just encouraging for us to have you on the board, but overall, it will also encourage all those people who are supporting THC as well. Thank you. Back to Charles or Peter.
Great. We are just going to have our anthem, and then hopefully Aubrey will be able to sort out the audio thing. Then we'll be back.
You are welcome, oh dear great mind.
I'm just going to try to add.
Yeah. He's got back there. Is that better now?
Am I audible, Aubrey De Grey?
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Aubrey, can you hear us?
No, that's all right.
Okay, I'm not sure Aubrey is still able to hear us yet.
No, not yet. It does.
Okay, and we can then hear from Art.
Yeah, I've been on the team with here in Transhuman Coin for a year. One of the early investors from the USTP, and yeah, it's been great giving my input to the team and helping out in any way that I can. Yeah, it's been a real honor being here, definitely. And like I said, always happy to assist in any way that I can. So, thank you.
Is that better now, Aubrey?
Much better.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. We can just take a few questions from the audience. If you have been watching us, now you are free to send in your questions to Dr. Aubrey and the members of our scientific advisory board. We're going to be taking the first 5 questions, and then we can let our guests today to go get the day started. We know it's quite early in California. It's about 7:35 a.m. in California, and it's quite pretty early in Australia too. Now, bringing the questions, we are going to just take 5 questions, and we call it a day. But before that, we are going to hear from David about the community. What we look forward to? What are we going to expect from the Transhuman Coin community in the coming days? David?
Yeah. Once again, I say it's a huge privilege to be in this group, and I represent the collective community. And in this community, we are tasked with the responsibility of marketing and and reaching out through various social media, and that's what we do. So in the next coming days, weeks, and months, we're going to keep doing what we're doing as the team builds. We're going to keep spreading our message out via Twitter, Facebook, as the case may be. And for someone like me, like I always tell people, and that's my catchphrase, what connects me to this project is the white paper. If you can read and understand, you will know that's what you read from there. You match it all together, you are in a very serious project and they know what they're doing. So that's what I tell people, and that's what the team also tell people, and that's what we in the collective tell people, that this is probably about the best project out there because it affects humanity. And whatever affects humanity, humans, they care about it. So that's our catchphrase. Hello.
Thanks, David.
Good. We have our first Dr. Aubry, and that's coming from our co-founder. Actually, she was supposed to be in the studio with us earlier. And she's asking, what is one development in the longevity space you are most excited about? And this question goes to Dr. Aubry. Anyone else can answer after that. Dr. Aubry?
All right. Well, as I said, there are so many that it's hard to know. So why don't I just choose the one that came up in my news feed today, which I am definitely excited about. New collaboration between one of the most prestigious hospitals in the USA, Mass General, and a company that I'm very closely linked with named Nanotics, which is based here in California. So Nanotics is all based around a completely brilliant idea of the guy who is its CEO and founder, Lou Hawthorne, that essentially allows the mopping up, the removal of circulating molecules that are in some way toxic. Often the toxicity comes not from being actively toxic, but rather from neutralizing the immune system and stopping the immune system from doing good things. And the first application of this that is mostly the exciting one is in relation to cancer, which, because solid tumors shed some molecules of this nature that essentially shields them from being detected by the immune system. But the new collaboration, if I'm not mistaken, is mostly not about cancer directly, but about sepsis, which is another very major cause of death in the elderly. And the same kind of logic applies. So this is, the kind of thing that always gets me really excited, not just because Lou Hawthorne and I are good friends and so on, but also because this is a kind of really smart, radical new idea of how to address really big medical problems. And it's not just an idea anymore. It's really moving to the clinic fast and going to be available to people. So that's the thing I'm excited about today.
That was great, and I hope that answers your question, Alice. And we received a video from Tim Maupin for our last, on our first year anniversary, and we couldn't play it the last time, so I'm just going to play it now. Enjoy this.
Hey everybody. I apologize I couldn't make it to the actual meeting itself. It's usually a bit late here. I think it's at 3 a.m. in New York City, which I tend to stay up late, but not always that late. Anyway, yeah, just I wanted to say hello to everyone and Peter and everyone at THC Coin. And once again, just thank you for the support you've given myself and the last generation to die. Yeah, I just wanted to have a couple updates on the project based on Peter's request. Yeah, we're still moving along. The train is, the film world is very unpredictable and difficult. There's no one right way to get your film moving forward. And after, kind of seeking funding in the longevity space for a little bit and getting some traction, it's starting to make sense after talking with my producer and some others to focus on getting an actor involved first, and then, then look for funding both in film world and the longevity space and elsewhere. So that's what we're doing. So in that direction, we had a nice little Gitcoin round at the end of last year, which we raised enough money to get a casting director on board and some other things. So we spent the spring updating the script a little bit at the behest of a producer who had some notes around plausibility and some story notes, just really tightening it up, before we send it out to agents and things like that, before we start the casting process to kind of put our best foot forward. Also had some input and great feedback from Daniel Ives of Shift Bioscience. He's one of our science advisors and really liked the script. I was really happy to hear that he loved the story and is really behind it, but also gave us some really good science notes to tweak the script a little bit. So, but that's all good. We have a locked script for now. Things always change a little bit in the film world, like I said, but and so we are officially moving forward with casting literally as of this month. So we're starting that process, starting to send out the script to agents and things like that with our casting director, Patricia. So, so they're kind of the main updates. We are also starting a DAO called Jellyfish DAO, which I'm not sure if anybody has seen it around, but we're in the very early phases of that. We have a collective, kind of a core group of producers, filmmakers, directors. Keith Comito from Lifespan is involved. And the idea behind Jellyfish DAO is to initially raise money for films. We have 3 films that were curated. Mine is one of them, a longevity documentary and another longevity film called Gen Ethic. Documentary is called Ageless, which I'm also a cinematographer on. So we have some really cool projects that we're all working on. And the idea is to put everything kind of in one place where we can sort of attract funding from, bigger donors, crypto people and things like that. So, the idea behind it is just to have a curated selection of projects that really, put a positive foot forward for longevity and science. And we plan to continue to add projects as we go and really span out into all media, really, like everything from videos, even potentially video games down the road. We really want to see this thing, support and fund a lot of, I'll call it longevity positive media. So, so please check that out. We're on Twitter. We have a Discord. I can send anybody an invite if they're interested. But we are looking at we're working on a mission video and kind of getting some of the key pieces in place and starting to talk about the tokenomics and things like that. But we are open to anybody's help in that department. But we'd love to have people join our community and support, the making of really great films and media. And then my film itself, we are now looking at a timeline to be shooting by next late spring. Just a much more realistic timeline with casting and financing and everything. So that's the update I have for The Last Generation to Die and Jellyfish. But again, really excited to continue moving forward with everyone in our grand mission of longevity and just health for all and helping a positive change in the world. So appreciate everyone, and hopefully I can make it to another meeting at some point soon. Thanks a lot.
Great, we are back. And that was Tim Moppin. And he had sent in this to just update us with projects. We have more questions. But before then, Alice says, thank you for sharing, Dr. Aubry. Such an exciting project and company. Uche says, welcome, Dr. Aubry. Thanks for the great job you're doing, Dr. Charles. And Jackson says, hi, Dr. Aubry. Thanks for coming. My question is that, looking at what Transhuman Coin has achieved in the last 1 year, do you think we are on the right track as regards playing a big part in the longevity industry?
Well, I mean, of course, I am very new to the group, so I can't really, say anything particularly deep in relation in answer to that question. But certainly from my experience over the past 20 years, the things that define most whether a group is on the right track is the team. Not just the skill sets, but the level of determination and enthusiasm and so on. And I'm very enthused by what I've learned in the past 46 minutes about Transhuman Coin and the people involved. And certainly, from the progress, especially the progress over the past year that Peter summarized earlier, it seems to me that absolutely you're on the right track.
Awesome. And Art, you have a question you've typed here. Can you please ask that verbally?
Yes. Yeah, I'm reading here that the market size for the cosmetic industry right now is 262 billion and is projected to grow even larger. So do you have any ideas on how we can get this industry to sort of pivot from creating products that just hide aging to actually investing and doing research into reverse aging? So any ideas? Do you have any contacts or any ideas on how to do that?
So yeah, it is a great question. Actually, the first thing I want to say about it is that there are people high up in the cosmetics industry world who are already at least interested in all of this. The most conspicuous example is one of the Lauder family, the Estee Lauder people. His name's Gary Lauder. He's definitely got a few dollars to spend, and he's been investing in startups in the longevity space for the past few years. So we do have one or two contacts of that sort. But I think to answer your question more generally and more directly, the real issue, as with any private sector, is that they follow the money. In other words, the way to get the cosmetics industry to focus more on interventions that genuinely rejuvenate rather than just cover things up is to get the public to want such products. And as such, really the most important thing is to be going out and convincing the general public that the defeat of aging is a foreseeable thing, and that the products that they want to buy, they want to see and be able to buy, are ones that are more than cosmetic. To that end, I think advocacy organizations worldwide that try to get people out of the defeatism of that's historically dominated thinking about aging, that will ultimately be the main way to change the priorities of sectors like the cosmetics industry.
Yeah, that was great. Art, you want to say something else?
No, just that I see that this industry is just growing larger from what I see out here on the internet, and it just seems they're going down the wrong path. They definitely need to pivot, and if there's anything we can do to help influence that, like Aubrey suggests, that's probably something we should kind of get into. I mean, it's a huge industry. I mean, they're projected to be $363 billion in 2028. And if they're still making just products that cover up aging in that time, I mean, they're kind of going down a path of extinction. They really need a pivot. and get into the longevity space, the research space. So yeah, we should do everything we can to help make that happen.
Yeah, and Peter, you had typed a message here to the question.
Yeah.
You mind just verbally
Yeah.
asking?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Aubrey, would love to get your thoughts on, what projects we could be funding with Transhuman Coin. Essentially, if it's at an early stage where, with Transhuman Coin, it is a cryptocurrency. So, any companies that are open to accepting cryptocurrency as part of their projects?
What an excellent question. Honestly, I don't know, who accepts what. But I mean, that's not really the place to start. The first thing to determine is, what projects are worth funding and having difficulty getting funding, and what the kind of scale of funding that Transhuman Coin has available to it, could make a difference. So the first thing I guess I would want to know is I want to ask you guys, what is currently your strategy for finding out about such projects? Do you have, for example, a request for applications on your website? Because that's normally it's not very difficult to get people to ask you for money. It's just difficult to decide which people to actually say yes to. So yeah, that's really where I'd like to start. How are you putting yourself out there as a potential funder?
Yeah, definitely. We have a framework around, how we sort of assess these as well. Currently, there's a Google form type acceptance for the applications. But maybe Avinash, did you want to sort of at a high level go through some of those framework criteria that we currently have?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. It's pretty high level criteria where we evaluate the product on certain level to see if they are worth to fund. For instance, look at the impact they are going to make in next few years after funding of the project. That's one of the important criteria we put on those forms and try to evaluate around that. And of course, the second more important criteria where we are funding is even capable to execute the project, or even they are executing the project in the right direction. That's another important. So team, impact of the project, these two are two essential criteria whenever we go through these company or request received from the company or organization of a team who interested that Transhuman Coin fund them. And in addition to that, we are pretty much open for literally any idea when someone interested to come across to THC. But when we go through this, we look for, we spread around to the board. We have, now you are on the board as well, and we look for your advice time to time on that. And these criteria, we look for project whenever we go for funding. So it's quite generic, to be honest, but of course, as we learning more and more in this, we also making things much more clear and transparent in terms of evaluation, who to fund and who to not fund, and how to fund them, and how to reach out to the best with the interest of TSC community as well, and as well as TSC board and project in general. And on that note, I also have one burning question. Maybe I can ask Dr. Charles. Should I go ahead with that? So
yeah, please go ahead.
Given that my field of expertise is quite a lot in cognitive neuroscience, or I should say brain-computer interface, and so my one goal, or I should say one of my potential dream, is also toward digital longevity. And I know you support from long time, and you are supporting from long time, is a biological longevity. What's your thought on digital longevity? When I say digital longevity, is essentially I'm saying mind uploading kind of ideas, which is quite applied among transhumanists like us. What do you think about that? I mean, is this something? Yeah, please.
Well, so of course, it has been a very strong theme in transhumanism since its earliest days, and the logic of it, I guess, is something that depends substantially on progress in both brain-computer interfaces and such like, and in medicine in general, because the main rationale for uploading has always been like biological bodies are fragile and prone to breaking down and so on, whereas digital ones might not be. But the further we get in figuring out how to keep biological bodies going, the weaker that argument becomes. We also got, of course, the rather more profound difficulty that we don't actually have any idea how to do mind uploading. But insofar as we can adopt the kind of thing that Ray Kurzweil said about this, where it's not really about transferring consciousness from one type of hardware to another, so much as a kind of melding of man and machine. There, we're on more solid ground, perhaps. Because it really does come down to improving the quality of brain-computer interfaces, and thus, in some ways, compensating for, or at least, potentially eliminating the progressive breakdown of the biological body and the biological brain. Nevertheless, at the moment, I believe that the emphasis that works better for me is to stick with trying to rejuvenate and maintain the biological body and brain, simply because I think we have a better idea about how to do so. Of course, we're not there yet, but we are making good progress.
Yeah, that makes completely sense, and thank you for answering that. I know it's a bit of interesting question for you, I believe.
Great. We are doing everything possible to make sure that we just make this an hour session. So we have about 3 minutes to end this session. But before then, we just want to say an official welcome to you, Professor Aubrey De Grey. You are such a hero in the longevity community, and we are most privileged to have you with us. And I just saw that Dr. Jose just came back again. So we're going to just have some last words from our guest, and we'll call it a day. Dr. Jose, your last words?
Well, Charles, Peter, Aubrey, Ramon, Bo, David, Avinash, it is a pleasure to be with you and all people watching us online right now or later. We are here to improve the world, to improve the human condition, and I think we are moving well. And hopefully, thanks to Transhuman Coin, we can move faster, farther, forward, upward into the future. So I'm really excited to be part of all of this. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And can we get your last words, Dr. Aubrey?
Sure, yes, absolutely. Well, so, I just really want to repeat my gratitude to all of you and for giving me the honor of appointing me to the Scientific Advisory Board of Transhuman Coin. I definitely look forward to working with you all going forward to help make sure that projects that you choose to support financially will be valuable ones. And it's going to be great fun working with you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Aubrey.
Thank you.
Come on.
Awesome.
I'd love to make a...
And Peter, our co-founder?
Oh, no, sorry, Bo was going to make a comment there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to make a short point, something I had on the top of my head this whole time. It's an interesting thought about serendipity. But, when we tried to land a man on the moon, we discovered a whole bunch of really cool stuff, technology that turned out to be incredibly useful. And we didn't intend to go to discover those things. And I guess my point is as a side thought to the longevity movement, is there potentially some incredible things that we're not looking for right now that might be discovered in the process?
I reckon basically yes. I mean, it's a huge task in terms of the diversity of things that we know that we do have to do in order to keep the human body going, and therefore the range of research activities that need to be pursued is similarly diverse, and things are bound to turn up serendipitously all the time that will have utility across areas that we weren't necessarily thinking of. Often people ask, what will be the value of longevity research to childhood diseases or other, early onset medical problems, and almost always the answer is masses of it, because the problem that needs to be fixed is in relevant ways very, very similar to the problems, or some of the problems that need to be fixed in aging itself. That's so yes, absolutely. Serendipitous benefits will be absolutely in abundance here.
That's exciting.
And with that, we look forward to the Methuselarity. And this is all us working as a community to make that happen and accelerate it. Thank you so much, Dr. Aubrey De Grey, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we say welcome. And that brings us to the end of this session. Please, team, stay in the back studio. We are just going to have 5 minutes after the live broadcast has ended.
What if I told you that you could be living longer? What if I told you that you could be living healthier? What if I told you that you could become wealthier? And the key is transhuman coin, investing in the future of humanity, improving human life with